Lemon is not here today. What
Yep.
can you say about that?
He's not here. That's all I'll say about it.
Do you believe this is related to his earlier...
No comment. Let's put it this way. I won't comment on Sean Lemon today.
Is he playing?
I'm not going to comment on Sean Lemon today.
How about Zima? He's not here. Can you comment on him?
He has a personal matter he's taking care of.
Will he?
So I would not ask another question about Joe Zima. Okay, I'll just say it like that. Zima's going to play.
Okay, that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about.
I'm good.
I wanted to ask you about the satisfaction of, making a trick play work as a former quarterback. And last week a little bit of trickery with the short punt and also the fake quarterback sneak. How much satisfaction is there on your part?
I don't know if you say it's satisfaction. You try to execute every single play, but obviously in big moments, when you're able to execute any play in a big moment, it means something. But there's a lot of teaching that goes involved with, a lot of excitement that gets involved with it when you know you've got something and you relay it to your players. So it's really just the satisfaction of making the play work in the game rather than it just being one of those plays that you think is a trick play or that type of play.
I've thought of another question.
Okay.
Jordan Dominic.
Yeah.
In case that Jordan Dominic plays Saturday, he was here from, I think, week 1 of camp. I do remember the name. I remember that he stood out to me.
Yeah.
What could you tell me about him?
Jordan's what we call in our hangar, which means we have guys ready to play like our starters play. So, or the guys on our 45, per se. Great with his hands, great pass rusher. That's what we saw in camp. Effort guy. He's a very talented player. He just needs an opportunity more than anything. So every single day that he's been here, he's gotten better. He fits into our group, like the guys we expect him to do with our culture and the attention to detail and showing up every single day. So we see that every day out of him. But he's got a number of things that we really like about him, but it's just an opportunity that awaits him.
Thank you.
Being a former quarterback and looking at the progression of Tyson and being a Canadian player and us having followed this team for so long and not having seen so many Canadian receivers dominate the league the way he is right now, what does it tell you about him, and should we still be making that correlation between Canadian receivers and just...
Well, I know, obviously people should be proud of being Canadian in this league. There's a reason it's called the Canadian Football League. You need great Canadians to be involved with it and play in it, and he's one of them, in my opinion. He's playing at an extremely high level, American or Canadian. He's as good as anybody right now, how he's playing. But everything he's doing for us, running routes, catching the ball, physicality, blocking, he's doing it all. And he's doing it at a very high level. And, for him, it's just going to be the consistency of that and being able to maintain that for an entire year. Last year, he came into the year a bit hurt and then finished off the year extremely strong. And he's picked up right where he left off. So I think everyone should be excited about him, particularly if you're Canadian, you're proud of that heritage in our league. And, I think he's doing a tremendous job. But to be quite honest with you, when I look at him, we don't necessarily know where he fits on our roster as far as one of the 7, but he's as good as any of them.
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Just one last question about what you've seen on film about Calgary and what are the things you need to look out for?
Well, it's like anything. We've concerned ourselves more with us than anybody, but I know on the offensive side of the ball, they've shown to bring some pressure this year. They bring it from a lot of different places. They've been had the ability to tackle well like they always do. They have very active linebackers and D linemen. So we just got to execute our plan. And what we always talk about is, protecting the ball, protect our quarterback, controlling the line of scrimmage. Those are things you got to do against anybody. Defensively with their offense, they've got some weapons. So you've got to neutralize all that, control the line of scrimmage as well, create turnovers. And limit the explosive plays that they're capable of. So, and then special teams, they've got a great kicker and a great punter, and they've always had great return units, and they've prided themselves in special teams. So I know we're always ready for battles like that. I think we match up well. I feel like we match up well with everybody in the league, but it's going to come down to a grind of a game, and we know that. They're a good physical football team, and it'll be a really good football game for us to play.
Well, I mean, we knew that it was something to be expected as far as the date was concerned. Obviously, this decision came out, so the league has taken the position that they are going to suspend them moving forward until the appeal is going to be heard.
How about the timing though? And I know that this could have happened earlier, but he appealed it. But I mean, 2 days before a game.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody appreciates the timing of all of this. In regards to timing, I think this is a question that's better suited for the league because I just don't understand the process. I don't understand why the suspension now and not at the beginning. Like I said, I can't speak intelligently about the process, so the timing is far from being ideal, especially on a day 3, which we're 48 hours removed from a game.
This is your last practice, your last full practice before the game. How much does this change your game plan, if at all?
Well, obviously, it changes the personnel, it changes the roster composition, and it's definitely going to have a domino effect as far as the game is concerned. As far as what we want to call, or certain things that we may want to call that we can no longer call. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to deal with it. That's just the reality of it, and we move forward.
What do you lose, both on and off the field?
Well, I think it's someone that's truly appreciated in the locker room, a leader, someone that has been good for this football team since he set foot here last year. A competitor. His competitive juices are always flowing, and that's pretty contagious in the locker room.
The fact that he is suspended, does this mean he cannot be around the team at all? He cannot attend meetings or films?
No, again, I can't speak intelligently about this. My understanding is that he's suspended for the game.
Okay.
It doesn't mean he can't be around the team activities. That's my understanding.
Does he get paid then if he doesn't play?
My understanding is he does not.
Okay. So you got extra money, like you got house money now to play with. It's always good.
Danny,
quelle est ta réaction premièrement là, vu que tu viens d'apprendre il y a à peine quelques minutes que Sean Lemon était suspendu?
Écoute, c'est sûr que c'est un sujet de conversation depuis une période de temps. On savait que c'était une question de temps avant qu'on avait besoin de l'adresser. Le timing de l'annonce est loin d'être idéal pour les Alouettes, en particulier à 48 heures avant notre match contre Calgary. Mais écoute, ça fait partie de notre réalité aujourd'hui. Puis on va vivre un petit peu de cette adversité à l'interne. Mais je suis convaincu qu'on va sortir comme on devrait contre Calgary. Puis on devrait bien performer.
À quel point ça met les bâtons dans les roues? C'est hors du commun qu'on annonce une suspension comme ça de 2 jours avant un match. Habituellement, ça se fait avant le début de la semaine de préparation.
Oui, ça complique un petit peu notre vie sur le côté défensif, mais même la composition du roster. Là, il faut le remplacer avec un autre. Ce joueur-là, probablement, il n'était pas au courant qu'il était disponible cette semaine. Là, il va l'apprendre qu'il jouera samedi soir. Défensivement, est-ce que ça peut changer? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait côté défensif et sur la ligne défensive, sur la ligne de mêlée? Ça se peut. Mais écoute, nous sommes une organisation qui s'adapte, je devrais dire, assez bien. Puis on devrait avoir des solutions en place pendant les prochaines 48 heures.
Mais Danny, là, c'est jusqu'à temps qu'il obtienne son appel, dans le fond. Est-ce que ça se peut que cette suspension-là se prolonge au-delà de cette semaine?
Non. Je pense qu'ils ont établi une date, Jeremy. Alors, c'est à la Ligue de nous dire c'est quoi la date, mais je pense que ça s'en vient dans les prochaines semaines. Alors, puis je pense qu'on a tous hâte. Comme ça, on peut aller chercher un petit peu de ce que j'appelle du closure dans ce dossier-là, puis de savoir où on s'en va le restant de l'année après que l'appel est entendu par les deux parties.
Est-ce que tu as l'intention de... Parce que ça n'a juste pas d'allure. Est-ce que tu as l'intention d'en parler à la Ligue de ça? Parce que dans aucune ligue professionnelle, en tout cas de football, on voit un gars suspendu aussi tard que ça dans la semaine de préparation.
Est-ce que je vais en parler? J'en ai déjà en parler un petit peu, pas en détail, parce que, comme j'ai dit, on vient juste à l'apprendre. Est-ce qu'il va y avoir d'autres discussions? Probablement. Mais j'ai hâte de voir comment ils vont répondre puis comment ils vont réagir à cette conversation.
The fact that this happened in 2021, allegedly happened in 2021, and we're now in 2024, how do you feel about that?
Well, that's the part that's a little bit, I don't condone what took place, okay? There's no place for that. So let me make that crystal clear. What's bothersome, I will admit, is that we're 3 years removed, 3 teams removed. So, just happens to pop up, at the beginning of the year. So I just don't know how that works. And again, I can't speak intelligently about it, why it took as long as it did, and that would be a question again for the league.
Do you think they're trying to make an example of him?
I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. But, we have this before us right now. We're going to address it internally, and what we control is what we think and how we feel about it. Mm-hmm. And that's where the focus is going to lie here in the next little while.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse-moi, Danny, mais en français, le fait là, que il aurait parié sur des matchs en 2021, on est rendu en 2024, 3 ans plus tard. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de ça?
Je dirais qu'on tolère pas le geste. Oui, ça fait 3 ans. Ça fait 3 équipes depuis. Il a joué pour 2 autres avant de signer avec nous l'année passée. Puis on l'a appris au tout début de l'année. Alors, quand même, c'est quelque chose d'un petit peu difficile à comprendre. Mais ça, c'est une question probablement pour la Ligue. Pourquoi ça a pris le temps que ça a pris pour apprendre cette nouvelle-là?
Heureusement, la Ligue répond à rien. Ma dernière question, qui va le remplacer au sein de la formation?
Mais ça, c'est des discussions qu'on va avoir dans les prochaines minutes.
Merci,
ouais. Merci les gars. Merci.